Guys, welcome back to the channel. On the board behind me, we're going to go over a case study on how to look at a garage conversion the right way for new investors, because this is a very, very common mistake and it has real life consequences for you if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to properly evaluate one of these properties where the garage has been converted. Now, let's kind of split the fence down the middle, right? You have wholesalers and acquisition companies. Commonly, the new investors in the marketplace are new wholesalers. It's because they don't have any money to buy the houses on their own. They're not savvy enough to raise money yet. And so they get a house under contract and they flip that contract to a new acquisition company. So wholesalers never acquire the property, never close on it. They never get title unless they're doing a double close, but that's for a whole nother video. So the risk for a new wholesaler, if they don't properly evaluate a property, is they blast it out in front of thousands of buyers and they're inaccurate on their numbers, and those seasoned professionals look at it and they never want to open up a property from that wholesaler again because they clearly don't know what they're doing. Now over here, when you pair up a new wholesaler who's optimistic and hoping a number is what they think it is, and they send it out, and this person has no idea what the real property value is, and they add in the square footage of the garage conversion, which we'll go over in just a second, they can actually close on a property that when they go to finance out later, that appraiser is going to come back and say, well, I know you want it to be this, but here's what it actually is. And they're going to get stuck leaving a lot more money in that deal, which is no fun for anybody. So let's look at this real quick and go over a broad overlook of this type of situation, because a lot of people do not understand this, and this is how you need to look at it. So this is a drawing I did. Yes, it is the worst sketch of a house layout ever. I know there's not even hallways, right? So let's just pretend these lines are some of hallways and just give me a break, because you got to pay attention to the overall method of which I'm trying to teach you here, right here. So this is a 400 square foot garage. This is a 1,300 square foot house, the living area of the property. But what happens is a wholesaler sends you, the new investor, a property deal flyer, right? And you open up your email box and you see that the average price per square foot for this neighborhood, this subdivision, is $100 a square foot. You take that 100 by 1,700 and you see it's $170,000 ARV, but this wholesaler may only be offering the house to you for $80,000. So your eyes start going like this with dollar signs, because you're like, that's a lot of equity. And you get super excited, you get blinded by greed, you close on that property, and you find out later that's not anywhere close to $170,000. And here's why. This garage right here is a 2-car garage. It has real value to it. This is a garage, it has value. This is a 1,300 square foot house with a 400 square foot garage. I understand when you think about it, if you convert this garage, you now have a 1,300 square foot house with an extra 400 square foot of livable space. And make sure they've done it right. Even if they've done a conversion, guys, a lot of times that conversion is not going to get the same price per square foot in evaluation as the originally constructed build. It depends on if they have windows in it. It depends if they added a bathroom to it. It depends if they've run the ventilation system to it, or the electrical to it, or the plumbing to it. So it's not just, oh, well, we added 300 square feet of footage, so it's automatically an extra $30,000. That's not how it works. Here's how it works. 1,300 plus 400 is 1,700 square feet. So technically he's right. But what happened to the value of that garage? Where did it go? Does it just continue to stay in the property even though the garage is no longer there? Guys, you have to understand something. Yes, you're going to gain 400 square feet, but probably not even at the same price per square foot as original build. But you're going to lose the square footage of the garage. And this is where investors get hurt, because they're going to calculate 1,700 square feet by 100. They're thinking they have a $170,000 house when it's worth quite a bit less. So be very, very careful, guys. If someone's trying to sell you and say, well, it's got all this extra square footage, or it's got an addition, first of all, check to see if it's permitted, because certain areas around the country, they can come tear these down and you're in for a world of hurt, because once you close on that house, you've closed on it, there's no going back. But you need to understand, it doesn't just necessarily jump that house value up. You're losing the square footage of a garage, and most of the time, depending on the price point of the house, these kind of wash each other out. In most houses, in most 200K and on under properties, there's a very good chance that it doesn't even add much value at all. It depends on how well the conversion's done and what all they did to it. Did they add a bathroom? Even for appraisers that are seasoned, that have been in the business for 20 years, I've blasted them all. Guys, go check out a podcast we've done with an appraiser. I believe it was one of the first ones that we put out. His name's Patrick Livingston. Even seasoned professionals like Patrick and other professionals I've talked to over the years, they're still having difficulty putting a right evaluation on these properties. It's very tough to evaluate a property when they've converted it. So just understand this, when you go to finance out, they're not going to see this as a full evaluation of $170,000. You're gonna get quite a bit less. So think about that. When that wholesaler argues you, no, it's more expensive, or no, it's worth more, ask them what happened to the value of the garage that is no longer there. I hope you liked today's video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I'll be putting more videos out for you and your business here soon. Thanks for coming and watching the channel today, guys. I'll see you when I see you. Have a good day.